5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is Deducter bringing you set 1 of the OSL Ro24 Group D. And today we have Cal, or Godzilla, versus Major. Cal, of course, as the Teal Protoss at the 1 o'clock position, needs little introduction. One of the most famous Protoss players of the current time, although I would not rank him among the greatest Protoss in history. He really did not really achieve anything. On the other hand, we have Major here as the Brown Terran. He's a relatively new player, only played something like 30 games. Not particularly good against Terran or Protoss, but he is pretty good against Zerg. He's over 60% against Zerg, but he's only 40% against Protoss. Cal, on the other hand, you know, when he was on, he was a very good, consistent player. And I think he would have been able to blow apart someone like Major here without much of an issue. Unfortunately, I'm not quite sure if in recent times he's really been together enough in his play there to be a real contender anymore. Here's hoping that Cal does make it into the OSL round of 16. That would at least be a bit of a revival for him. And I certainly hope that he does better. One thing to note is I haven't really seen Cal do anything creative in like the last 2 years, probably. I mean, I can't remember what like the last thing that was clever that he did. And he is supposed to be a creative player. And that girl is not hiding her face. Good for her. So here we see the refinery barracks going down for Major. But yeah, Cal has sort of become another type of free, someone who is just one of those Protoss players who's forever hovering on the edge of greatness. Plus he had his life saved by Flash in the World Cyber Games, apparently. Cal did not know how to swim. He was in the swimming pool in Los Angeles somewhere, and he had some difficulty, and Flash went in and saved him. That's how awesome Flash is. So that's what I remember Cal as these days. Not his StarCraft skills, but getting his life saved by Flash. I know it's kind of sad, but yeah, I hope Cal definitely improves his game and give us an entertaining game of StarCraft here. Cybernetics Core finished here for Cal. He's got a Zealot out, going to try to scout around a little bit. Interesting to note that Cal did not send his probe scout. The SCV scout is almost at Cal's base. Went through the middle, coming here for Major, so Major should know what is going on. Cal also not trying to blockade his front. I'm not quite sure what he's sending that Zealot out to do. If he's hoping to do some harass, really think he'll accomplish nothing. Perhaps he just wants to scout around the middle of the map. He's concerned about something. Maybe a proxy, or maybe he wants to like pick away at whatever he can, but I doubt he's going to achieve much. He might run into this Marine, and if Major is not paying attention, he could lose the Marine. Cal looks like he is going to use his Zealot as sort of a scout slash harasser, but I really do not think it'll accomplish much. I think Cal would have been better off sending a probe here. He's got a peek into Major's base, sees the factory, sees the machine shop. Dragoon coming out here for Cal, so Cal really wants to put on the early pressure in this game. Perhaps he is hoping to do, well, with a Dragoon plus a Zealot, he can definitely do some damage. You know, with proper Dragoon micro, hardly matters how many Marines Terran player throws out. As long as the Marines come like one at a time. If all the Marines attack en masse, that can still be a problem. If it's like one at a time, Tempest First Light, most famous example, it doesn't matter. And here we see Cal actually picking away at this supply depot. Major needs to be a bit careful here. Can't be too cavalier, but Cal backing off. He's probably worried about a tank popping out. I thought Cal perhaps might have persisted with his attack, but he opted not to. And Cal with the Dragoon going to kill this scouting SCV who stole a mineral rather cheekily. I guess cheekily is not a word, so and it sounds stupid, so I won't use it anymore. rather cheeky of Major. Now that's a better way of putting it. Major pushing out with 6 Marines, it looks like, or 5 Marines, and a tank gonna drive Cal back for now. That Dragoon has a kill. Probably killed a Marine or something like that. And this Zealot needs to run its way back to the base. Oh, but a Vulture coming out, gonna chase down and kill this Zealot. So really that early Zealot accomplishing pretty much nothing. Cal with his Dragoons marauding around the middle a bit here. Both players unwilling to engage, both players setting up their expansions. Looks like this might very well be a longer-ish game. We have mines out here for Major. Oh, he's going to get his Vulture trapped there, or caught rather, by 2 Dragoons and killed. Major is going to be in a fine defensive position. Cal has not opted to put down another gateway to really pressure the front. He's getting his Robo Bay and his expansion, so not too much Cal is going to be able to do here in terms of action. Both players. Hopefully this little skirmish at the beginning does not stop the action. What I'm trying to say is I hope this does not turn into one of those, oh, we fight for a little bit at the 5-minute mark, but then no rush 15 for the rest of the game. There is some of these little actions around the map. Here we see 2 more Dragoons picking off a Vulture, but both players, at this stage of the game, there is no way to engage in any sort of decisive battle. Anyway, armory going down here for Major, so he wants his upgrades as soon as possible. I believe this is, well, actually, I am not 100% sure, but Flash used to put his armory down really early, but I think the Flash build has the armory down even earlier than this. This doesn't quite feel right to me. So that's, regardless, 2-1 upgrades is usually, or 1 armor, 2 attack upgrades is usually what Terrans decide to push out at in terms of their upgrades against Protoss, at least. And Cal looks like he is setting up, or preparing to set up, his 3rd base there at the 3 o'clock. He's got a probe over there just waiting for, I guess, the minerals for him to set up, and he's got his Nexus going down right now. So both players not really doing too much, not even really scouting around the map too much anymore. Cal sending out his observers to scout, that's standard, but Major sort of stucking his base, got his tanks in a nice defensive position. 1 tank could easily be repaired by about a dozen SCVs at once if some sort of attack came out. He's got Goliaths. Ooh, nice scan here by Major. That was almost a Flash-esque scan, I have to say. Flash, famous for scanning observers and noticing the graphics glitch, scanning the observers and killing them with his Goliaths, denying scouting information to his opponents. So nice work here by Major. Cal's got, of course, more observers coming out. He's going Stargate. That's not surprising. I mean, he's seen the Goliaths. There's almost no chance he's going to go carriers. Arbiters, on the other hand, are very standard against Protoss. So that is probably what he's going to do. I am still a little perplexed by the decision here by Major to go for all these Goliaths, and he's going to scan again and pick off another observer. Very nice. I mean, if you want to kill observers, 2 Goliaths at most would be enough. And the 3rd observer coming here for Cal, this observer is being much more cautious, hovering over the cliff there, not willing to go straight into the base anymore. But I guess it doesn't really matter, as long as Cal sees the tech coming from Major, he doesn't care, and Cal is going for his fleet beacon. Well, I mean, he's seeing the Goliaths, he's seeing the fast armory, and he's like, I'm gonna double down here, or rather, I'm gonna dare you to attack. Perhaps he thinks this might be some sort of bluff here by Major, that Major just got these Goliaths to sort of show, don't go carriers on me. Whereas, and another observer going down for Cal. Cal really, he's getting the scouting information, but losing 3 observers like this rather needlessly, I have to say. Not necessarily the best of decision. Cal with another observer here. Those observers, I mean, 1 observer is very cheap, but 3 observers, quite a bit of gas. I believe it's only 25 gas. It's like 225 gas compared to carrier costs 250 gas. So it's almost a carrier in terms of gas. Cal now, this time, there are no more Goliaths here. His observer is going to be relatively safe. That is because Major is